Hello everyone, how are you doing today? My name's Rife, and today we're going to be doing a new video that's going to be kind of different. It's basically going to be like a how to drop bootcamp. So when you're playing those sandhot games, if you like hot dropping, this could be really like vital for you, because you're like, oh, I drop in, what parts of the map do I drop in, what parts of bootcamp do I drop into, how do I drop there, and what do I do from that point on, what's my ideal weapon, what do I need to focus on. So here we are dropping in with the method. Basically, you want to be 750 meters ish away from the boot camp, and then you drop into your side, and then you point straight downwards, like pointing around like northeast, northwest, I believe, with your on your like joystick, and then you drop in. Now the main part with boot camp is you drop in, you gotta find something like an AK or a barrel M762 now with the new update. Basically some like high DPS weapon. It could be an SMG, it really doesn't matter. And then something, for example, like a QBU, an M416 with like a 4x scope, something that you can use for a bit longer distances. See, now I've got the QBU, which actually got me the kill there. And it's just like, so you need to have like a DMR preferably, and a really high DPS weapon for close quarters, or something like a shotgun on the other hand. And even what I noticed is, don't pick up stuff like sniper rifles in bootcamp, because it's just not going to work out. If you're the victor of bootcamp, you can use sniper rifles. You can find the ones that you couldn't get earlier. See, like right now I'm using a shotgun, which I wouldn't really recommend because shotguns are really hard to use. But if you're good with shotguns, like I'm pretty decent with shotguns, so I like rocking them, then you can use shotguns as well. And here I am like with the QB, picking people off. The DMRs are really, really good for bootcamp, and I really recommend it. So mainly where I like to drop for bootcamp really is, what I like to do is drop in the center building, and drop on the on the bottom or top half. Make sure you don't drop in the middle actually, because there won't be like a staircase going downwards, and I just I find that like as a disadvantage, and there's not like the houses nearby, and you're kind of in the middle, so you could get third party more easy. And especially the place that we're looking on right now, on the right there, don't drop there because you can easily get picked off from anywhere. That's basically. And be really careful, don't expose yourself for too long in bootcamp, because if you do, you're gonna get shot. It literally it happens all the time. You're just at the top, focusing on someone else, and then someone else from another building just starts shooting you and kills you. It happens. Now another main priority, now we're talking, is before engaging in fight, make sure you have body armor. Body armor is really important, guys. I cannot stress this enough. Unless someone's right next to you, or on drop or anything, don't engage them, because if you haven't got body armor, it's so easy to die. And if they have body armor, you're at a huge disadvantage. It doesn't even matter, a level 1 helmet just would be great, it doesn't matter how good it is, it just has to be some sort of body armor, so you can protect yourself from like the other people. See here I have the AKM, which is a really high DPS weapon, and it's really useful. And then I have a QBU as my secondary weapon, DMR, to pick people off from further distances. And if you're lucky there, you might find like something like a flare gun. And basically at this point of the game, I haven't killed off everyone in bootcamp, so even earlier you guys saw I found a Kar 98. I did not pick it up because it's not good. That's not what you're really going for in bootcamp, because it will leave you at a disadvantage. And I'm a person that really likes using bolt actions, but I left it for later. There we go, pick up the M416, the QBU. The general scope that's really, really decent for bootcamp would be probably like a 3x, like that's a really like kind of good distance scope to like have, because there won't be engagements really further than that. If you find like a 6x or 4x or 8x or anything, 8x is they don't spawn in bootcamp, but if you find anything more than that, you can keep it, but I just wouldn't recommend putting it on, because it could affect, how quickly you scope in, the recoil of your weapon, and it could affect your time to kill. So at this stage of the game, we're kind of halfway through the game. Bootcamp's mainly died down. Now at this point of the game, you want to still play cautious. You want to still keep your loadout or combo from earlier in the game. for example, like the DMR and then the SMG or the AKM or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And here I switched to the M416 because it has a really similar time to kill and DPS and other stuff like that to the AKM. But honestly, it really depends. I went for the ammo synergy because after all I have 5.56 weapons and it really doesn't make that much of a difference. And the M416 has less recoil and it's just a more maneuverable weapon. You can just use it for more stuff. You could just put the 3x on it, boom, and then you can just shoot people from further distances, follow two of them down with a 3x. And it's all about that really. After the first 40 people or so, bootcamp is pretty much cleared, so you'll be okay then. I would recommend really after the 50-minute mark to just be really aware of your surroundings, because you never know where people could come from. They could come from inside, outside bootcamp. They could just try and come in and take any loot, because they might be oh, everyone in bootcamp's already left, so they might try and come in and get some extra loot. But you want to make sure that you get those extra kills, because chances are you probably come in there for the high kills, the high intensity, and also if you just let them loot up and stuff, they could literally just eventually get to your position and then just kill you, and you do not want that. So as you can see here, I see one person, I see a second person, jump shot him, and then going up the building I hear more footsteps and I'm like, okay, so I thought I emptied bootcamp and apparently I haven't. So jump shot this guy and 3 people dead, and for the most part I was like, oh yeah, there's no one in bootcamp really at this time. So yeah, you should always be cautious with that. So later on in the game, what you're really going for is 2 things that you can do really in bootcamp. Either you can stay in there, loot it up until you have to leave and play the zone, pretty much just go in at the last minute, the last time you can, or just a bit behind, and stay on the edges is the thing you're probably going to be doing the most. Or on the other hand, if you're going for stuff like kills, what I would really recommend is trying to go to the center of the zone, trying to get those airdrops. That's the main stuff you're going for, because that's the main way you're going to be getting kills. Now obviously later on in the game you can't really do that, but the thing is you want to just remain mostly central if you're trying to go for the kills. But on the other hand, if later on you're going to just play more tactically so you can actually get that win with a couple of kills for ranking purposes, then that's also a viable option. And that's the things you're really going for here. So you could either be really last into the zone and stuff, or you could be center of the zone trying to get all those kills. It really does depend on your playstyle, and every single person plays this part kind of differently. Rotation in the final circles is critical pretty much. Mainly what you're going for is around the sidelines, making sure that you push in from the space that probably is going to have the least amount of people. So I'm pushing in from the side of bootcamp, and that side, depending on the playing path, could have a lot of people, but it could have none, so it's really important, because you could easily just rotate around the zone and be at a really good spot when nobody else is, and nobody else knows that someone else is there. Because if everybody drops the north eastern part of the map, there's going to be nobody at the southwestern part of the map, so if you go at that side of the safe zone, then there'll be no one there and you have a huge advantage. And this is critical to understanding it, and that's a very important thing to calculate and stuff. Obviously other people could be doing this as well, but if how many more people could be doing that? That's maximum probably one person that you're gonna have to face. And for the most part, you don't want to just run straight into the zone, because then you could be really easily picked off. You want to kind of just go to the side where people probably won't be, because you're really vulnerable when going into the zone, especially when you get into the zone and you're just about to heal up and everything. People can get you really easily then, because obviously when you're outside the zone, it's really hard for people to see you. But as soon as you enter, literally you can get easily picked off. It doesn't happen to me really easily, just me getting picked off, just dying for nothing. I didn't even see the enemy. It happens to me on my main crown account, and it just kind of sucks, because it happens to everyone. That's why you got to be really careful with your how you play the safe zone. And then on the other hand, if you drop right in the center of everything, you're not going to have that problem. You just want to make sure that if the zone is even far away from you, if you're right in the center, you want to be really careful, because if you were in the center of that zone, there's clearly going to be other people around you that are trying to like get to the zone as well, and they're not going to be in the zone either. So they could already know of your position if you're playing really like boldly and trying to get like all the kills. So you actually you got to be really cautious with everything that you do, because if you're not, you're just easy pickings for the most part. You also got to be careful, even if you are going for kills. Sometimes you shouldn't be going for a kill if you're in a good spot, and you don't want anyone to know that you're there, and you want to actually survive the game, and you know that, for example, you might be in a good sniping position, but unless you got the guaranteed kill, you probably shouldn't shoot, because they'll know you're there, and then they could make sure you don't get into the zone by like putting pressure on you, that's something that happens as well. And if you're not in the zone, and you shouldn't be shooting at people unless you've got a guaranteed kill. If you've got like a Kar 98 and they've got like a level 2 helmet, and if you're playing solos, that's going to be insta kill. Or if you're playing squads, if you got like something that you can switch to and just kill them straight or pick them off, then you should do that. But unless it's not a guaranteed kill, you probably shouldn't review your position. And if you've got a suppressor, that gives you a huge advantage, so you should be really using the suppressors, especially on Sandhog, and because it's like a smaller map, and the gunshots will be heard from like way farther away because it's going to be way smaller. So this is like, suppressors are really important at end game. You got to make sure that you just don't take kills that you can't like guarantee if you're not in a good spot, because if a whole squad takes you on and you're not in the zone, you could just be screwed. On the other hand, if you didn't shoot at them, you could just survive and get like top 3 or something easily, without even having a single worry. You just got to play your moves tactically. So at this point, I'm kind of going to the zone, making sure there's no one behind me. That's a critical step at this point, because if there's someone behind me at this point, where someone's just keeps on rotating behind me, and I could really easily just get shot in the back and just die, and I wouldn't even realize or know where it came from. So I'm just making sure I've like killed everyone in my area, so there's not going to be no one behind me that can easily kill me. This is a really important strategy wherever you're dropping. Make sure late game that you've got like all like the space behind you covered, that no one's going to be there and no one can kill you, and obviously unless like it's like 30 people alive last circle or something crazy like that, but like competitive play. But I have no idea, that's just a completely different matter. You've always got to make sure that you're in the safe, and that you shouldn't be just continuing to the zone if there's people behind you. If there's people behind you, there's 2 things you should do: put pressure on them so they die to the zone, or you could shoot them, or just continue running if the damage is really really high and you can't survive it. Those are the 2 options really. You other than that, you shouldn't really be doing that, because they could just really easily shoot you. After all, you're just easy, an easy kill for them, because you're right at the front. And if they're really far away, they could die, and you're just giving them an easy kill. Just make sure you haven't got your straight back to them. Make sure you've always got cover behind you. You could for example, jump from like tree to tree or rock to rock, or whatever, and use them like as checkpoints, and just check behind you to make sure they're not there. But this is kind of like if you know that you can't engage them, if it's something like a full squad. Other than that, really, if it's like a solo, you really should be engaging them. Now at the end game, if it's like a 1v1, it really depends on your situation, but you should probably be like looking for the other player. If it's FPP, I definitely would recommend that, just scouting around until either you see them or they see you. And when that happens in FPP, really, it's kind of like, see, at this point I hear gunshots, and when you hear gunshots, it's kind of like, okay, now the game's pretty much going to end. Because FPP, you can't really camp in FPP. You got to look for the last enemy, and at this point I don't know where the person is, so I'm just jumping around making sure I don't get shot until I locate like the actual gunshots. When it's really like a 1v1 at the end of the game, or a 1v4 or whatever, you should really be looking for like the last person or people, because that's really vital. Or you should be just staying to where you are, because you don't want to be losing your vital position. So guys, I hope you did enjoy. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like down below. It will be really appreciated. If you did enjoy this video and you want more guides like this, just give suggestions and leave a comment down below, and I will read your comment and I will try to improve on my videos in the future. And thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.